Just let me. Hello everybody and welcome to R Factor Dirt Leagues Live. Tonight we're doing a little bit of a test session for our broadcast. We're here at Bloomington Speedway in Bloomington, Indiana for the Liquid Nitro Series kickoff for their Power Midget Series. This is the first round of 13, I believe. And it looks like we got a pretty decent car count tonight too, with about 14, 15, around 16 cars showing up. So we're going to have a pretty good race, a lot of heavy hitters here too for it being a Friday night on R Factor. We got Brett Wheeler in the building, Colt the Shocker Dyer, Bo Bruining, he's a big sim racing powerhouse in the open wheel divisions. But you're in store for a great show tonight here at Bloomington Speedway. 4 people left. Looks like we're about 5 minutes from the racing action getting underway here tonight at Bloomington. Take a peek in the server. We got about 12, 14 cars now actually, so looks like people are still joining the server though, so we'll get an official car count to you soon. But I'd like to thank each and every one of you tuning in. On behalf of Brian Walker, going to be commentating tonight along with Kyler Shaw. He'll be joining us in a little bit. He's behind the camera right now, so Kyler, always a great cameraman here. But looks like we might have a little bit of time to discuss the format tonight. It's a bit simple, kind of your basic format. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have qualifying, we're gonna have heats, we're gonna have a dash, and based on the car count, we are not gonna have a B main. We're just gonna go straight to the A main. But in qualifying, the 2 quickest qualifiers, they're going to be straight to the dash. They don't even have to run a heat race. They're basically automatically a lock for the A main. So this league, qualifying is a very, very big factor. So you got to take qualifying serious in this league, unlike most others most of the time. Then we're going to go to heat races, which there will be about 8 to 10 laps depending on the count in each heat race. There's a 12 car maximum, which my guess right now is we're going to be starting around 6, 7, 8 cars in each heat race. So, and we're going to do a 5-car inversion. So that means what that means is that with the top 2 qualifiers going straight to the dash, 3rd place is technically the quickest qualifier. So 3rd place with the 5-car inversion is going to start 5th in a heat race. So it's kind of a simple inversion, but might be a little confusing to those new to the dirt racing world. But out of the heat races, like I said, looks like everyone's going to go to the A main. Top 2 out of the heat races go to the dash. And looks like everyone else will go to the B main. So we're going to have after that, we'll have a 6-car dash for 6 laps. The finishing order is going to change up the starting lineup for the A main. And A main is going to be 25 laps at Bloomington Speedway in the Power Midget. So have a lot of good racing going on tonight here. Just a little bit of hot laps right now for the drivers right now before they get to the qualifying. Like I said earlier, it's gonna be the first show up, first session on the track, shall I say. Alright, now we're going to take a little sneak peek at a little bit of the track information about Bloomington Speedway. Like I said, it's in Bloomington, Indiana. So it's a quarter-mile semi-high bank clay oval racetrack located in Bloomington, Indiana. The Real Raceway races every Friday night from April through September. They've been racing since 1923, so 90 years to be exact. 2013, they run cars from sprint cars to the Indiana Super Stocks, modified 20s plus many others, and special events. The track record is a wicked fast 9.672 seconds, established by Jason Meyer in the 2011 in a 14 cubic inch sprint car. That was when the World of Outlaws came to town. And the track is multiple special events with the Indiana Midget Week running, Indiana Sprint Week, the King of Indiana Sprint Car Series, the KISS Series, and also the Speedway's own special event and the Sheldon Cup. So there's a lot of interesting facts and know-how, know-what's about Bloomington Speedway. So a lot of interesting stuff about this track. Alright, looks like qualifying is going to get underway. We do not have a live camera feed right now. Kyler is working on that as we speak. Had a little bit of difficulties, like we said earlier in the broadcast. We're testing things out right now for tonight, trying something different. But qualifying on the track right now, so we'll still read you the times and everything and let you know what's happening. Looks like we're going to have 14 drivers in the server for qualifying. So far, Bober, quick time, 11.603 with 12 drivers definitely 11.5 marks earlier, but Bo Brunig quick time with an 11.603 right now. Only 6 drivers, 7 now taking time so far. Brett Wheeler sitting in second, 11.697, not far off Brunig. Dale Grosser in third with an 11.720. Dyer chiming in fifth with an 11.899. Ahead of him in fourth, Jordan Wooten with an 11.877. Still got about 4 or 5 more people to qualify though, so things can change. I do not see Denny Felker Jr. in the server as we speak. Denny was here earlier in practice. He's a pretty big name in sim racing here on R Factor in the Power at Midgets, but no sign of him yet. Don't know if he's gonna show up or not. Still waiting on a couple more people to qualify. Your top 5 still the same: Bo Brunig, Brett Wheeler, Dale Grosser, Jordan Wooten, and Colt Dyer. It looks like that. It looks like that's going to be all for qualifying tonight. So it looks like Bo Brunig and Brett Wheeler get to go to avoid the heat races. They're going straight to the dash tonight. Like I said earlier, with the 5-car inversion in the heat races, it actually might look like we might have one heat race. We're going to have to wait and see about this, but Dale Grosser with qualifying third, he will for sure be starting 5th in a heat race. And with the 5-car inversion, it's going to put Jordan Wooten in 4th. All depends though, are we going to have 2 heat races or 1 or not? But
I believe with this car count we will have 2 heat races, Brian.
Alright, yeah, I believe we still do have cars piling into the server, and some may have missed qualifying, so you could be right there. Like the admin's gonna get the lineups figured out, and it looks like we're about to roll with Heat 1 here in a second. And Kyler, you are correct. There will be 2 heat races tonight. Once again, your top 5 in qualifying. Keep in mind your top 2 of Bo Brunig and Brett Wheeler. They are locked in. They do not have to run a heat race. They get to go straight to the dash. But your top 5, Bo Brunig,
Here we
Brett
come
Wheeler,
on turn number 4. We go racing.
Dale Grosser, Jordan Wooten, and Colt Dyer, and we're about to give you the lineup for Heat 1. Alright, looks like we're going to have 6 cars for heat number 1, 10 laps distance around this quarter mile. Starting 6th is going to be Cody Welker. Inside of Cody, starting 5th is going to be Brandon Sutton. On the second row, with the inversion taking place, Dale Grosser qualified 3rd. He's going to start on the outside of row 2 in 4th. Colt Dyer is going to start on his inside, position number 3. On the front row, Scott Weatherby is going to be starting on the outside, and JD Laird will be on the pole. 10 laps the distance, we're going green on turn number 4.
Here we go, JD Laird and Scott Weatherby taking us to green. Green flag is out.
Colt Dyer with a great jump, moving straight from 3rd to 2nd. Oh, he's looking to make a run for the lead down the back stretch, side by side into turn 3. Laird and Dyer. And Laird leads that lap, first lap down. But Dyer's making it work on the bottom of the track with Laird up top. Dyer's going to slide up in front of him. Colt Dyer takes the lead. Dale Grother kind of looks like, knowing his sim race, he's a very powerhouse. He's a very big powerhouse. The sim race is sitting in 4th right now, and honestly, it looks like he is lagging back right now. I don't know what's happening with him. Colt Dyer still out to a very impressive lead in seat number 1. About half a straight over 2nd place Cody Welker. Looks like he's shortening the gap.
Meanwhile, Dale Grother breaking the track records back there in the 4th position, 11.702, showing he's the fastest driver on the track. Now looking to reel in that 3rd place driver of JD.
Halfway that time by for the leader Colt Dyer. He's got 4 more this time as they cross the flag. So 4 more laps in this heat race. Oh, but Dyer fights it going into turn 1. He doesn't flip, so he's going to continue going, but Colt Dyer falls all the way back from 4th, all the way from the lead, all the way back from 4th.
Meanwhile, while he did that, Dale Grother threw a slide job on JD to make it stick, and it looks like he is actually now the leader.
I would have crazy turn momentum only in heat 1 here, but Grother, he's about to lap Dyer too. Actually, he gets the white flag right now. Dale Grother gets the white flag in heat 1. And out of turns 4, he's gonna make it look easy as Dale Grother wins heat race number 1. JD Laird is gonna finish 2nd after starting on the pole. Looks like Scott Weatherby will take home 3rd. Colt Dyer, after leading almost half the race, is going to finish 4th. Finishing 5th is Cody Welker, and rounding out the field in 6th is Brandon Sutton.
We come on a turn number 4. We go racing.
All right, here we go with heat number 2, the final heat race of the night. Only 5 cars. 5 cars for 10 laps. Starting 5th on the 3rd row all by himself will be the 4th qualifier of Jordan Wooten. On the 2nd row on the outside, starting 4th, going to be Brian Tumio in the Brian Clausen Ford Red 39. To his inside will just be Eddie in the 26th racing. And on the front row on the outside is going to be Brody Boss in the Keith Kings Motorsports entry. And on the pole is going to be Kenneth Reeder.
Green flag, go, 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 go!
Brody Boss out to an early lead here.
Here we come on a turn number 4. We go racing.
give Heat 2 another shot. Your lineup again: 5th, Jordan Rutan; 4th, Brian Antonio; 3rd, Eddie; Brody Boss 2nd, and on the pole, Kenneth Reeder. 2nd attempt at this heat race number 2.
Here we go at a turn number 4, looking to get the green flag. Green flag is back in the air. A lot cleaner start as we go 3 wide, but Kenneth Reeder loops it in turn number 2.
Don't know if he got upside down, but he went in the infield as Brody Boss is going to take over the lead. And Brian Antonio from the 4th spot slips into 2nd. Ooh, he's playing with that berm though on the bottom. He'll lose his ground. Brody Boss catches the berm though as well. Antonio reels him back in. I see a good battle here in this heat race. A little bit of the server's a little laggy right now, so hopefully that fixes itself. But Brody Boss still out to a very impressive lead. But oh, just as I say that, Brian Antonio is going to dive under him through 3 and 4. Antonio leads at the halfway point. They get the cross flags, 5 down, 5 to go. Brody Boss falls almost a whole straightaway back now as he sits in 2nd, but now he's got to worry about Eddie behind him. Eddie in 3rd, reeling in Boss. And Eddie making a move on him. 3 laps to go as your leader's going to cross the line. Only 4 more cars left on the track in this one. Jordan Wooten suffering problems. He escaped out at the halfway point. Turn 4, Brian Antonio gets the white flag. He's got 4 more corners to clear and down the backstretch. Kenneth Reeder, the lap car, straight away to head, but he's not going to have to worry about him as Brian Antonio is going to win heat race number 2. Taking home 2nd will be Brody Boss. After leading almost half of the race, finishing in 3rd is going to be Eddie. No, Kenneth Reeder, excuse me. Kenneth Reeder finishes 3rd, Eddie finishes 4th, and Jordan Wooten finishes 5th. So that wraps up heat race action. We're going to move on to, I believe, the dash is up next. 6 laps, 6 cars, and it's going to look like this. Starting on the pole is going to be Bo Bruning. To his outside, the 2nd quick time qualifier, Brett Wheeler. He'll be starting on the outside. Starting 3rd after winning heat 1, it's going to be Dale Grother. To his outside in 4th. The winner of heat number 2 we just saw, it'll be Brian Antonio. Starting 5th is going to be JD Laird. He'll be starting 5th after finishing 2nd in heat 1. And rounding out the field in 6th, it's going to be Brody Boss. Finished 2nd in heat 2. So 6 cars for 6 laps. And we're going to roll over the slick track up next. So once again, the finishing order of this dash will be the starting lineup of the A main. So if Bo Brunig somehow falls back from starting on the pole and finishes dead last in 6th, he's going to have to start 6th in the A main. So this dash is also, like qualifying earlier, very, very important to how your night's going to go. Adams are going to give the drivers a little bit of practice on this little track here. So we're going to have about 3 or 4 minutes.
Here we come on a turn number 4. We go racing.
Alright, now the dash lineup. 6 cars, 6 laps. Starting 6 is going to be Brody Boss. 2 is inside, and 5th, JD Laird. Second row, 4th will be Brian Antonio. 3rd, Dale Grother. And on the front row, your 2 quick time qualifiers. On the outside, Brett Wheeler. And on the pole will be Bo Brunig in the Whiskey Pack racing car. 6 laps the distance, 6 cars.
Brett Wheeler and Bo Brunig. Green flag is in the air for the dash. This will line up the A main event as Brett Wheeler goes to the top, Bo Brunig to the bottom. Someone falls off the track, but Bo Brunig is going to get a huge run down the backstretch and take the lead.
Here we come on a turn number 4. We go racing.
We are going to have a restart on that one, I believe. Didn't see who it was. It might have been Grother, but not pointing any fingers on that one. I know someone got into Brian Antonio and sent him off the cliff there, so have a restart. We're going to give this one another shot. Bo Brunig and Brett Wheeler on the front row.
Like Brian said, we're going to try this one more time. Bo gets a great jump, almost too good to be true, and he's going to lead into turn number 1. Dale Grother going to try and throw a slider, doesn't quite get it stuck. Bo falls a bit off the track. Brett Wheeler's going to try and take advantage of that mistake, but going to the finish line, it's going to be Bo Bruning on lap number 1.
1 lap down, 5 laps to go. Wes Wheeler, oh, he got a little bit loose. He caught the inside berm. He flipped upside down. I think his dash is going to be over as Dale Grother drives around Ryan Antonio to claim the 2nd spot. Let's see if he can reel in Bo Bruning. Only 4 laps left. And Dale Grother just said the
All right, yellow flag.
lap
Back it
of the
down.
night is we're going to get a yellow. Excuse me, fastest lap of this race on the slick track with a 12.182. So Dale Grother flying around this quarter mile in that 24 Motorsport car. Well, he's got about, we'll have 3 laps to go when we get the green on this next restart. So we're going to see if Dale can reel in those.
Getting the 1 to go signal. Pace car ducks off. Bo Bruning ready to take us back to green here in the dash. Green flag is back out as you can see the flagman waving it. Dale Grother's going to go up to enter in the middle, slide up to the top, then come back off the bottom. It somewhat helps him, but he's just going to stay on the back bumper of Bo Bruning for now. So we get 2 laps to go this time by.
Brunig's slipping around the inside line, right around the berm as it looks like Grother. He's sticking to about the high line. Flirting with the cushion up there. There's virtually no physical cushion, so it is almost very easy to fall off the track. As that was white flag this time by, coming out of turn 4. Brunig's gonna hang on. He's gonna win the dash. Dale Grother will finish 2nd. Ryan Antonio will finish 3rd. Brett Wheeler drives back up to 4th. J.D. Laird will finish 5th, and Brody Bosch finishes in 6th. Once again, that lines up your top 68 features. So Bo Bruning will be starting on the pole with Dale Grother to his outside.
So if you watch our broadcast pretty often, you are very familiar with the name Bo Bruning. He is the SPR admin, SimPro Racing Series. They run on Sunday nights. We broadcast most of the races for them. In fact, we were just there for, I believe it was Wilmot this past week, which was a pretty good race. So Bo Bruning trying to represent for SPR over here at the Liquid Nitro Sim Series race here at Bloomington Speedway.
Yeah, him and SPR also the makers and owners of this mod all as well, so interesting fact.
Sorry about that. And then we got Dale Grother as well, who is an Australian that runs a lot of midget stuff. Mainly on the later nights for us, since he's on the other side of the world. But Dale runs a lot of midget stuff, and he's pretty competitive. As you saw, he was trying to put some pressure on Bo Bruning, but 6 laps, just quite not enough for him to make a move. So this will be a pretty good race as he will try and pound the cushion to get by Bo. And Bo looks like he may stay around the bottom side for the A main event.
Alright, we've got the lineups together, and looks like we're going to have a 13-car field tonight for the 25 lap opening a main for the Liquid Nitro Sim Series Power Magic Series League. So here we go. Starting 13th will be the admin of the Liquid Nitro Sim Series in Brandon Sutton. He'll be on the 7th row all by himself. 6th row, starting 12th on the outside is going to be Jordan Wooten. To his inside, and 11th will be Cody Welker. On the 5th row, on the outside, starting 10th is going to be Eddie. To his inside, and 9th, Colt the Shocker Dyer. 4th row on the outside, Kenneth Reeder will be starting 8th. To his inside, Scott Weatherby in 7th. Now we get to the dash, which starting 6th, the dash will be Brody Boss. To his inside, in the 5th position, will be JD Laird. Starting 4th will be the second quick time on tonight, Brett Wheeler. To his inside in 3rd will be Brian Antonio. And on the front row, for tonight's 25 lap A main event on the outside, it's going to be Dale Grother in the number 24 Motorsport Machine. And on the inside, starting on the pole for the A feature, will be Bo Brunig in the Wilkie Pack Machine. So 13 cars. 25 laps and a lot of heavy hitters in there. So we're going to have a real interesting A main up next.
We come on a turn number 4. We go racing.
Catches the berm coming out of 2. Bo Brunig, he's on his lid down the backstretch out of the alley. Dale Grother's going to take the lead.
Here we come on a turn number 4. We go racing.
Wow, Bo very lucky to see that restart. That was Heartbreak City for him right off the start.
And we're going to give this A main another shot. Bo Brunig and Dale Grother on the front row. They're going to get the green flag. Brunig with another good jump. Grother, once again, like we saw in the dash, looks like Grother's going to use the high line to his advantage. Ooh, Brunig and Grother make slight contact. Here comes Brian Antonio to the mix. Brian Antonio sneaks under both of them as Brian Antonio did the first lap of tonight's A main. Huge battle from almost 4 wide coming off the corner. They're at 4-car battle, and the yellow's going to stop the action. Wow. A 4-car battle, and we're only 2 laps into this thing. Brian Antonio, Dale Grother, Brett Wheeler, and Bo Brunig all duking it out for the A main win tonight here at Bloomington.
Bo Brunig just trying to keep his nose clean, hoping these guys will wreck. But meanwhile, we got Brian Antonio, who has already set the fastest lap of the race. Brian Antonio right now starting off strong with 24 laps to go.
And I'll tell you what, he came out of nowhere. We were just watching Grother and Brunig race each other hard. And we're already going green in this restart. Looks like Grother had the lead when the yellow came out. Grother leads him into turn 1. Brian Antonio in hot pursuit of Grother as Brunig and Wheeler battle out for third. They have a good battle. Brunig wheel on the bottom side of the track. Wheeler up on the top as Antonio is closing in on Grother, it looks like. Antonio has that car hooked up tonight.
As Bo Brunig just set the fastest lap of the race right there, 12.157. He is now going to be hard charging for your leader of Dale Grother.
And I'd look out for Cole Dyer too, and Brody Boss back there. They're in the 5th and 6th position, lurking and waiting for anything to happen that could. As Brett Wheeler and Bo Brunig still going at it as they reel in Brian Antonio, who's in 2nd. Oh, as Antonio falls off the front stretch a little bit. But Dale Grother starting to pull away now that we actually have some green flag laps in. And Wheeler gets into, kind of turns right into Antonio down the straightaway, knocks him back to 4th as Wheeler moves into 2nd and Brunig into 3rd.
Meanwhile, we got a car sitting on the front straightaway. Yes, they have escaped. Or no, they're trying to get back on the track. Whoa, very close for Bo Brunig. Meanwhile, Dale Grother is extending his lead by almost half a straightaway over Brett Wheeler now with 17 laps to go, 16 this time by.
However, if we get a yellow, or if Grother maybe makes a mistake and Wheeler and Brunig can reel him in, we could be in store for one epic A main here tonight. Still 15 laps to go this time by, plenty of time to reel Wheeler in. Alright, excuse me, Grother.
Dale Grother just set the fastest lap though, so you can't always say that he's going to catch him as he now may seem to pull away. Meanwhile, everyone kind of staying around the bottom side trying to keep the nose clean. Don't want to fall off the track with this track.
Actually, Brody Boss now in the 4th position after Antonio got a little wobbly and lost position. He's reeling in Bo Brunig, who's in the 3rd position right now. So Brody Boss coming in the picture right now. Cole Dyer back there in 5th position as well. He could be a threat later in the race. But 12 laps to go this time by for Dale Grother. Will we have another yellow, or can Grother carry it out all green to claim the victory?
Brody Boss with that Keith Coons horsepower trying to reel in Bo Brunig to take a top 3. As bright as I say that, he spins out down the front straightaway.
And I believe we're going to have a yellow for that too, aren't we? No yellow yet, it looks like. No, we're still green. As Grother gets 10 laps to go that time by. And that moves Cole Dyer in the 4th position and Jordan Wooten into the top 5. And Brett Wheeler with the lap car, Kenneth Reed in front of Grother, 9 laps to go. Wheeler is actually reeling Grother in. Been closing the gap every lap, it looks like, but Grother might be able to extend it now with no lap cars inside except for Sutton a lap ahead. Or straightaway ahead, excuse me. 7 laps to go for your leader. The action has somewhat died down lately. The green flag laps have been turned, but Brett Wheeler faster than your leader on that one. Looks like, once again, we did not mention this earlier, but Grother has been running about the middle or the top of this race, with Wheeler running the bottom, so Wheeler may have better tires than Grother. That could be a factor, but Wheeler made a little mistake there. 4 laps to go this time by for Dale Grother as he has about a second lead over Brett Wheeler.
Your top 3 is just checked out, like over half a lap ahead of the field. If this was a 40 lapper, we may just lap the whole field except the top 3.
Oh, a lap car comes out in front of Brett Wheeler. That was a close call. I don't think we're going to have a chance to reel in Dale Grother up in the front, but Bo Brunig might just have a shot at getting that 2nd place position back from Brett Wheeler. 2 laps to go out of turn 4. Dale Grother's going to get the white flag in the air for Dale Grother. 1 lap to go. Looks like Grother has this thing sealed up. Can Brunig make a last lap move on Wheeler to claim the win? Or the 2nd, excuse me, but no, Dale Grother will go on to win at Bloomington. Brett Wheeler finishes an impressive 2nd place, almost reeled in Grother, but just couldn't quite get it done. Bo Brunig will finish 3rd, rounding out the podium. Colt Dyer coming all the way from 7th to finish 4th. Brian Antonio will finish 5th, rounding out the top 5. Jordan Wooten claims 6th, Brandon Sutton 7th, J.D. Leard 8th, Brody Boss 9th, and Kenneth Reeder in 10th. So what an A-man, what a night here at Bloomington Speedway as the Liquid Nitro Sim Series kicked off their brand new Power Eye Midget League, and in quite exciting fashion as well.
Unfortunately, we won't be covering much of this series, at least not fully, but we may come back for a couple more races. Looked like a pretty good race ran tonight by the Liquid Nitro Sim Series. So definitely a league you may want to consider if you are watching this and are into league racing. Meanwhile, we are going to try to get interviews from the top 3.
Another thing to mention here real quick, if you're interested in this series, like Kyler just said, they do get things done on time, 40 minutes, and we ran qualifying 2 heat races of the dash in a 25-lap A-main, so
User was moved to your channel.
Here we are with your 3rd place finisher, Bo Brunig. We were just going to interview the top 3 tonight. Bo Brunig, you started on the pole. You got pretty lucky in the dash, but in the A-main, you just got kind of shuffled out of the way there on the start, and it was just you got caught behind the 8 ball. Explain to us what happened there the first few laps.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I had the car set up a little too tight for the start of the race. Got a little tight and pushed up, and a couple guys got underneath me. Dale got underneath me, and then number 39 and Brett followed right along, so I couldn't get back down to the bottom. And then, we just picked away from there. I mean, top 3. I mean, Dale and Brett are professionals, and they've been around just as long as I have, and so I mean, when you're running a track like this, it's real tacky. It's not, it's not very technical. It's tough when the top 3 we're all running about the same speed.
Now, we saw you guys running the bottom, but we saw Dale Grother working the top in the dash. Could the possibility have been that a lot of drivers were running the bottom to keep their nose clean and try not to fall off the track, or do you think that most of the people run the bottom just simply because it was faster?
No, I think the bottom was faster. I think if you got up in the middle of the racetrack, like I said, the track's pretty tacky, so you couldn't, the car stayed hooked up even if you weren't right down on the bottom. And like it's kind of the momentum. Dale was kind of running about the middle of the racetrack, and he got his momentum built up, and never, like I said, when you got, myself and Brett are good drivers, and Dale's a good driver, and you got clean space, and it's tough to run guys down when the track's not real technical. So, but I'll take top 3 any day.
Well, there you go. Bo Brunig, he also, like we said earlier, is a major factor in SPR, Sim Pro Racing Series, so they run on Sunday nights also if you're interested in that. But Bo, real quick, is there anybody you'd like to thank for the podium finish tonight?
Just thank Brandon for putting us on, and you guys for broadcasting it. It's always nice to have a broadcast going, and Dale and Brett for running a good, clean race.
All right, well, thank you, Bo. Good job on the 3rd place finish, and we hope to see you, I believe, next Sunday for the SPR series.
All right, thanks, Kyler.
User disconnected from your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Now moving to your 2nd place finisher, Brett Wheeler. Brett, we saw you took advantage of when Bo made the slight mistake. In fact, you got pretty lucky in the dash, or actually unlucky in the dash with your incident. But Brett, explain to us how you pull off that podium finish tonight.
In the dash, it was a bit unlucky. I had to get on the brakes a little bit, otherwise I would have driven over the left rear of Bo. And I know Bo's a clean race. I've known Bo for a long time, so that's not what I wanted to do. So I'd rather wreck my race than wreck anybody else's. But in the A main, we start up top, and we always we were planning on finishing inside the top 3, and it just worked out. We had a little bit of luck, and it went our way.
Well, Brett, we saw you run the Micro Series quite a while back, and you were pretty dominant in that series, but now we're also seeing you dominate pretty good in the midgets. Will we see you back here a lot of the races for the Liquid Nitro Sim Series?
Yeah, you know, they put on races every week, obviously due to the time difference between American and Australian. I can sort of only run every 2 weeks with these guys. I run Power Eye 1 week and then the micros next week, and it'll just go back and forth. But I'll definitely come back. I really enjoy running the micros and the Power Eyes now, so yeah, I'll keep coming back.
There you go, Brett Wheeler pulling off a second place finish very narrowly by Bo Brunig in the 3rd position. Brett, is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's podium finish?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Brian and Brandon for doing the grids and the league tonight. Also, you guys for putting on the broadcast. It's can be difficult at times to put on broadcast, but I want to thank you guys, Dale as well. He was fast all night, and just there was a stage where I was catching him, but I just couldn't get around him. But Bo as well. There was a couple of times where I messed up, and had it been a few other drivers would have ran over my left rear, he got out of the gas. So I just want to thank everybody for putting it on.
Well, there you go, Brett Wheeler, your 2nd place finisher in tonight's Liquid Nitro Sim Series race at Bloomington.
User was moved to your channel.
And now moving on to your winner for tonight's technically round number 2, but the first race of the season. It is Dale Grother. Dale, you took the lead pretty early and just checked out. You set the fastest laps of the race. We saw your line was a bit different from everyone else's too. Explain to us how that helped you out throughout the event.
It's just consistently smooth, I guess. Try and be as smooth as you can.
Now, we saw you take advantage of like Bo said earlier, the mistake he made on the very first lap where he just barely left enough room for you to slip by. Once he did that, you had the option to either let off or just keep going by, and you chose to keep going by and just checked out. So how did that affect your race? Would you have been able to get by him, do you think, or do you think he would have won it if he did not make that mistake?
I don't know. It's hard to say. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, I was pretty lucky. Someone got up and sort of wheeled Bo a little bit and moved him high and opened it up underneath for me to get past him. But I don't know. You never really know, I guess. Take it lap by lap and deal with what's in front of you. But it would have been a good race for sure.
Well, Dale, you're also a familiar face to a lot of series around here. We've seen you in the ARDC Midget Series. I believe you're also the points leader, if I am not mistaken. We didn't make it last week, so we are not 100%. But we know you're pretty competitive in the ARDC Midget Series. You run SPR whenever you get a chance. So you are pretty well recognized with these midgets. Does this series make you want to come back and run more midgets, or are you planning to just hit and miss every so often?
I'll probably run this one. It falls on a Saturday morning for us, so it's fairly easy to get to. Whereas the other ones are sort of weekdays, so it's just whenever you get time you can get on, But yeah, I'll just run them. They're fun to run. I'll sort of run with anyone.
Well, there you go, Dale Grother, your feature winner tonight. Dale, is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's feature win in round number 1 of the Liquid Nitro Sim Series?
Well, thank the guys that put it on. Obviously, starting out, so slight teething problems with a few things, but everyone has those issues, and they sort of got onto them quick, smart. So, yeah, hats off to them, and hopefully it works out well for them. And you guys putting on the broadcast, and pretty much everyone in the R Factor communities, everyone sort of gets in and helps each other, and makes it pretty fun to be around, and that's what it's all about.
Well, there you go. Dale Grother, your feature winner. We hope to see you back soon. Otherwise, good job on the win tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
Meanwhile, it's about that time where we check out and head out for the night. We believe we will see you back on Sunday night. Not sure whether it'll be SPR or UDS Array. At this point, we are still working things out. But otherwise, for R Factor Dirt Leagues Live, Brian Walker and I would like to thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. Sunday night for sure. We will give you a time on our Facebook page, and also we will let you know on their Facebook page, whoever we're broadcasting for. So we hope to see you then, and